Hey everyone, I'm Daniel Roberts, and you are listening to the Giving Town podcast, where we share stories of hope and generosity in our wonderful community of Newberg, Oregon, and the surrounding area. So this podcast is sponsored by my real estate team, the Joyful Roberts Group, and we are licensed real estate brokers with Premier Property Group, LLC. So one of the main reasons I make this podcast is because I love educating people. I'm really a teacher at heart, which is why I also have a YouTube channel where I educate people about the buying and selling process. And we also have lots of great tips and tricks and market updates, lots of great stuff about living in Newberg that'll be coming on shortly. We're always putting on new videos. So I have that YouTube channel because I know a lot of people ask me the same questions over and over, which I love answering, but I wanted to have things in a way where people could find them whenever they wanted without waiting for me to be able to call them back or answer their questions. So if you're interested in real estate, considering buying or selling your home at any point, check out our YouTube channel because we have a lot of great stuff on there. And like I mentioned, there's always new videos coming on, and I think you'll find a lot of great stuff on there. So with that, let's get right into today's episode. Today I have a special guest with me, Rachel Trice, who is the Chief Marketing Officer for the Home Builders Association of Metro Portland. And the Portland Metro Home Builders Association is the organization who's responsible for putting together the Northwest Natural Street of Dreams, which is coming to Newberg this year, which is really exciting. A lot of people know about Street of Dreams, but don't know that it's coming to Newberg. So thank you, Rachel, for being here. I'm excited for today's episode.
Great, thanks for having me.
Yeah, so let's just start with, for someone who's never heard of the Street of Dreams, how would you describe it?
Great question. Well, if you've been in the Portland metro area or any of the 5 counties, we've been around almost 47, 48 years, give or take, with COVID. But we're really sort of a home tour, so most people understand what a parade of homes is. We're kind of the original Street of Dreams, which means we are a one-site location. Kind of still. We've changed it up a little bit, but we've been around a long time, and really what we promote is new construction, and it's also sort of just a fun summer event. So there's been a lot of tradition in the Portland market, or again in our 5 county area here, just to get, come out and tour a home and see what the other half's doing.
Yeah, and these are pretty nice homes too.
Yeah, some years we've ebbed and flowed, give or take what the economy's doing. Certainly it's been based in the 80s on big luxurious homes, but over the years we've really tried to change that story. Okay. So we are about luxury homes, and that's fun because people want to come see what's the best and newest, but we're also about just sort of all of the other options in housing. So we try to showcase a lot of different housing features that aren't just about big luxurious homes.
Yeah. Now, the name Street of Dreams, how did that name itself get chosen? What's the significance behind that?
Well, before my time for sure, given that we've been around almost 50 years, but I will tell you that our partners at Northwest Natural were with us from the beginning. So it's been literally, decades of partnership to sort of help build this and really to tell the story about new construction. So we sort of go out and we find a location that's in a new and booming area where we think development's going to be happening for single family and honestly even multifamily housing now. And Northwest Natural was a big partner in that, and certainly promoting, gas in homes as well, which we love. But Street of Dreams was the concept that we'd be in one single site location, and we are the oldest and we do own the trademark. For Street of Dreams.
So no one else can say Street of Dreams, even if they...
Some other people can say it in other states, but not like we can say it. We are the original creators of it, which we're pretty proud of.
So what's the significance, though, of being the Street of Dreams? So like you said, it's not just, the home of your dreams, like the nicest thing, but it's really about helping people fulfill their dreams, whatever those might be, it sounds like.
I think the real trick to that is, people think about, okay, well, back in the 70s or 80s, perhaps that's what luxury looked like. But we have a foundation that's our 501c3, and part of what we do is just provide housing and safe housing just for one night. So we work with homeless shelters in the community. We work with transitional shelters that are providing, families a place to sleep that's safe and comfortable for a night. So we talk about ADUs. We talk about multifamily living. At the HBA, we're really concerned about sort of all of those elements, not just luxury living. And so, a dream can be very different for everyone. And that's really the story that we want to tell moving forward into the next decades about the Street of Dreams, which we're excited about.
Yeah, that's really cool because like I mentioned, many people who just think it's about luxury, you say, well, what's the point? And then they hear that, oh, and then they're doing stuff to help with, the homeless population and all that. In their mind, it kind of seems like, well, that's kind of silly. That's like two opposite sides of the spectrum, but really.
We've had great feedback over the years, the last few years where we've tested some of these things. We had a container home with relevant building, which has gone over fantastically. We hope to feature some container/tiny homes this year. We've certainly talked about ADUs, which people love. And we know that, we're not outdated in our thinking. We know that housing looks very different. And depending on the community you live in, everybody's goal of what they think luxury is, right? So luxury might be living in a tiny house on a lot of property with no one near you, as much as it might be having a safe shelter to stay in because you're homeless. Or it could be, I'm building my family's dream house in luxurious wine country, and we're going to celebrate generations of our family here together. And all of those things mean a dream to somebody. And so really that's our goal, is to just help get that messaging out. And then truly people enjoy coming to the Street of Dreams to also experience the fun, to see like, I'm never going to build this, but maybe someday I will. And by the way, what's that paint color on the wall? You know? So it's just also an entertainment factor.
Well, and that's exciting for me to hear as a realtor, because many people think that, oh, when I get this home, that's what's going to make me happy. Like I just need the nicest, fanciest home. But really, it's not a home that makes you happy. It's the memories that you create there. And sometimes you can have better experiences in a smaller home than in a huge one, depending on your needs. Now, some people do want the nice luxury homes, and that is totally okay.
Of course. Well, we think that, there's a lot of things people sort of have misnomers about also big footprint homes. So the energy performance of a large home in a new construction home can be more efficient than if you live in a small 1920s cottage in South Portland or something. So we also want to tell those stories about energy efficiency and ways that you can build new construction to really also be good with the environment, sustainable, on cutting edge technology, but also have kind of a bigger footprint, for example, and not feel guilty about it, but also do it the right way.
Yeah.
So we really want to promote building right, building sustainable, high energy efficiency efforts, and really just tell all of those stories. And we work with all of our partners at the show to kind of explain to people new technologies, new innovations, things that they can really do in their own homes, in their own lives, from indoor air quality to how to make your energy bills lower, for example, or how to have appliances that will work with what you're trying to accomplish and be efficient. So
yeah. And one of the things that I love about what I've learned from you guys so far is that you work really hard to benefit the communities that you're in. So it's not just you build some homes there and then you're gone. You actually really integrate yourself in the community. So can you share a bit about that?
Yeah, I think the favorite thing that we love about Street of Dreams, whenever we do this in any jurisdiction or community, is we go and really find partners, just like this podcast, just like all the neighbors here. And we want to talk about the community and the livability, and that, yes, we want to, encourage people to come check out this new innovation in building. But we also want to say this is a great livable community to be a part of. And that's made up of the businesses, all the economic development and tourism efforts, as well as all of the individual people and businesses that are, supporting it. So we really try to come in and tell the story of the life of the community, the spirit. We have a great time, and then, we move on to the next community is typically how it goes.
Yeah. So you've been working on this project, specifically on the Newberg side of things, for how long now?
Well, we like to work on it more years than not, but often we don't know the next site very far ahead. So we do it pretty quickly. A lot of reasons for that, but certainly with COVID and land being harder and harder to come by, and one single site being harder to come by, we're sort of ebbing and flowing, as every event did with COVID as well. But luckily, there's still big interest in this. We had a really successful year last year in Happy Valley, and this is the first time we've been in wine country. So Yamhill County, first time.
Yeah, which is super exciting.
Yeah, 9 years I've worked on it. I've been eager to get here just to tell the beautiful story of sort of the more rural environment and the wine country story. So we think there's going to be a lot of interest this year. Yamhill County, City of Newberg, we are also new this year doing 2 homes that are bonus homes that are spectacular homes that will be located in McMinnville. So people will be able to do kind of a self-guided tour on weekends to go check out 2 additional homes. So there'll be 6 homes total.
And that's the first time, right?
First time. We did a little bit of a test last year where we did a secondary bonus site, but it was a sort of a different thing for us. But yeah, this is the first time we've really said one single site, Street of Dreams, give or take 3 to 4 homes. And then you can also self-guide on weekends to 2 additional homes in McMinnville that are about 2 miles apart from each other near Baker Creek. The homes on our main site this year are going to be $3 million and up and have the most spectacular views that we've seen, if ever, in a very long time, if ever. So it really is something to come see. And we provide music, we provide entertainment, wine, food, so that you can just really come and have an experience. And, certainly one of the things that we sell is inspiration. So this is definitely the spot to come be inspired. If you're thinking about, even if you just want design ideas or paint colors or tile ideas, we have tons of partners on site to help tell that story for you.
Yeah. And when did you guys find out that you were going to be in Newberg this year?
So great question. I think about a year ago. We don't always know that far out. And actually, we already have sites selected that are top secret right now for the next 2 years, which is very rare, but we're thrilled to have that because it allows us to be able to partner with the local community faster. But certainly sometimes we've been 8 months out and just pulling a show together. So
wow. So from coming, you've been visiting and coming through and being on the site quite a bit in Newberg, and I've heard you speak at a Rotary Club and at the Chamber of Commerce meetings. What have you come to appreciate personally about Newberg so far?
Well, I've said it before, but it's a small town feel, and it's so awesome. I'm from small town Indiana, so it feels very familiar and home, and it's not like any of the other communities that we've been in. Every community has a unique sort of vibe to it. And I think Newberg just has this great country, rustic, rural feel. And I think that the homes will showcase that. I know the builders, and they're different in a lot of ways than some years. And I think that the community, the people that come every year, will be excited to kind of see that it's a different show. But it really does showcase that kind of small town, community oriented. Just really, I think at every Rotary Club we've been to, there's just been a group laughing and cracking up and telling old stories, and just really welcoming. So I'm excited to be able to just tell the story. And the Downtown Newberg Association and the businesses and Taste Newberg and the city we've been able to really partner with to kind of also get people out from the site down into the community to spend money, experience the business community, and see if it's something that they might want to come move to. Yeah.
What's something that maybe you didn't expect coming to Newberg and experiencing what it's like here?
I think I didn't expect that it would still have such a small town, close-knit feel, but then also sort of this wine country sophistication. I think that, but the people here really do. They might be secret winemakers, right? And so you think, oh, they're farmers or they're agriculture. And again, coming from Indiana, I certainly love it, know it. They might drive a truck, but then they're also secretly making wine.
Yeah.
And making really good wine. And so I think that there's this kind of just juxtaposition of being really local and small town and just those really humble, do anything for you. Let me use my truck to tow you if you need something. Let me help you out with that. And I think that's really great. It's really fun to see.
Yeah. That's also one of the things I love about this town is, it's close to Portland, but they say when you come down Rex Hill, everything kind of changes. You feel very welcome. You feel just like you're, it's just such a tight-knit community. And I remember when I first came here, going to the college, George Fox University, and the slogan there is "Be Known," but I feel like that's kind of the whole community is people welcome you and accept you no matter who you are. And despite past news stories, the real feel you get is that no matter who you are, you feel very welcome and accepted here. So that's something that I've loved. And the reason I created this podcast, The Giving Town, is because there's so many generous people. There's just so many people who,
I would say that,
like you said, like they'll stop and help you. They'll go out of their way to make sure you're okay. And maybe not everyone's had that experience, but I think most people can say that that's kind of the culture of this town.
Very friendly.
So I'm really excited about what people are going to get from coming to Newberg if they've never been here before and experiencing the Street of Dreams. I think it's really going to be special.
Yeah, I think one of the things I would say too is that it's such a, you've got the Allison Inn and you've got other sort of hotel and lodging partners, and then these just bigger brands and things that are moving in, and it's such a sought after place. And then the local people are welcoming and excited about it and kind of don't know yet. I think what a big deal it
Yeah,
is.
I think a lot of people
starting to.
don't even know that Street of Dreams is coming to Newberg yet, which that'll be fun.
Right.
And hopefully after this podcast, a lot of people
we'll
will find out.
all.
Yeah. So one of the things that you kind of touched on a little bit is that thousands and if not tens of thousands of people come through every year, the Street of Dreams. Do you have numbers on how many people come through?
Yeah, some years, give or take the location, we can be 40,000 to 65,000. I think back in the 80s, we used to get 80,000 people through when it was, sort of back in the old day. Depending on the location where people are excited about, it'll ebb and flow a bit, but they don't all descend at once. So, city, don't freak out on me, but they come casually in and they're a very comfortable audience. They come to peruse. They don't come to kind of descend on anything at one time. So we'll have couple thousand through a day on a weekend. It's a comfortable sit, enjoy a nice Saturday or Sunday afternoon with a beautiful view and a glass of wine at the site, tour some of the homes. Slow pace, which we like, and I think it fits well with what we're showcasing out here.
Yeah. So what might someone expect if they get tickets, they decide to go out? What can they expect to see?
Yeah, so we have 3 homes at the main site, which are going to be about $3 million and up, and those I would say are what you'd expect in a wine country home. Very different, which will be fun. Beautiful, breathtaking views right off of Bell Road. We will do some shuttling, so you'll have to follow closely along on the website for instructions. But we'll be parking people, sending them up in a shuttle bus. You'll have an afternoon to spend or whatever it is at the main site. You can hear music. There'll be beer and wine and food. We do a nice bistro up there. We will also be doing VIP packages where we send people down to downtown Newberg. We have some custom shuttle packages that we'll be creating, which will take you out to wineries as well. So you'll get a VIP experience at the actual site with lunch and maybe a little insight. And then you'll jump on your private shuttle and you'll go with a group of maybe 10 or 12 people out to a couple wineries and do tastings and then come back to the site. So more to come on that. It'll be on our website for sale.
And then, and there's different kinds of tickets. So you mentioned the VIP tickets, like you just talked about that experience. And then there's tickets for kind of the whole event as long as it goes. And then there's also the block party. So what is the block party? The
block party is kind of the local secret. So we'll let that out on this podcast. So it's really our VIP night that we host for the industry. But we do often have neighbors and local business partners that we've worked with engaged. So I certainly expect to see some local Newberg partners there. But it's really the sneak peek, and it is kind of the Move That Bus TV show kind of moment. We are working on the site up until about noon that day.
Which is crazy.
It's the hottest day of the year. It's the messiest street you've ever seen. It's people yelling and screaming and 20 cars backed up all around. And then suddenly, magically, it empties. We clean the street. And suddenly we set up for a party of 2,000 or so and feature like a taste of the community. And it's a ticketed event. It's very sought after. It always sells out, but it is our industry night. So developers, builders, all the subs and contractors that have worked on the home, and then our local partners. We do have some that general public that come to it over the years who can buy tickets. There's probably a few still left on the website if you quickly look and you know what it is. We're always fun. That day is the hardest day that we do all year. Yeah. It always gets easier from there.
Imagine your stress level on that day is kind of through the roof, and then finally
it's really not a fun day, but it's beautiful at the end. We're always thrilled. It's always a magical day, and a site like this, I expect it to be as well. And I would just say, so we have 3 homes at the main site. We have a 4th home that will be right by our parking, which is also beautiful. Okay. So really there's 4 homes in a cluster. And then the other 2 will be available on weekends only. And those are about 1.8 million in there in McMinnville. Okay. And we'll have an app that'll be able to take people around to all of those. And so your general admission ticket includes touring all of those, even if you want to do it on different days.
And what are the dates of these events again that are going on?
July 20th is the block party, but we don't open officially until July 23rd, and we run through August 14th, and we're open at the main site for the homes 1 through 4. We'll be open every day, 7 days a week, 10 to 9. So our website will have all of the different hours and parking, and there'll lots of logistics that people will want to check out.
And then in McMinnville, it's weekends only? Okay. And I want to come back to what we were talking about before with how the Northwest Natural Street of Dreams and the Home Builders Association and the nonprofit arm that which is the Home Builders Foundation.
Our foundation is our 501c3 arm. We're really proud of it. It does amazing things in multiple communities and has for many years under the radar, just to the generosity of our business partners and certainly our builders and developers. So really the essence of it is our builders and developers identify with the foundation board and staff what shelters need assistance and renovations. And they go in, we get a builder captain, and they take over the project, whatever that project scope looks like, and either raise the money or provide the services and the leadership to get it done with multiple builders and subcontractors who donate amazing time, projects, materials, and or cash to sort of renovate the shelter. And so when we come into a community, we partner with Street of Dreams. We say with our foundation, so you can either donate, so public can buy a ticket and they can donate money while they purchase their ticket, either online or at the box office. But we try to tie it to a local project. And so for Newberg, this show, we're tying it to the Community Wellness Collective, who has a shelter that they actually renovate in downtown Newberg. So we'll be working on sort of upgrades and helping them house more people. And it's really a heartstrings thing. And we try to find one that the community really needs help with. And we see it as a great service to the community. And so, it's also doing kind of the opposite end of the spectrum from luxury homes as well.
Yeah, and we appreciate that because, I mean, everyone knows that home prices especially have gone up and people come on hard times. I volunteer at the local Love Inc. here, and we have people who need the shelter. Mm-hmm. I mean, especially in the winter, but also times in the summer. I mean, it's a really critical part of our community.
Yeah.
So it's a much needed and very appreciated project that you guys are doing.
I think it's a very understated awesome project that we're working on, and we'll be telling more about it throughout all of the communications with Street of Dreams this year. But I think currently they're housing 21 people, and we're trying to expand that, doing some work on the kitchen, laundry facilities, maybe even additional housing so that they have more room and space, and just refreshing the whole space so that it, again, everybody's dream looks a little different, and this is important, and we want to do whatever we can to contribute. So we help meet the gap. Whether that's through project materials, services, or cash. And I think this one, maybe a 200,000 plus or something they were needing. And we're going to try to help close that gap with what we can do.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for that. Like I mentioned, I think it's good just so people know, again, that Street of Dreams is not just about luxury homes for rich people. It's really about a holistic picture of the community and really bringing the whole community up. And you also mentioned partnerships with other businesses. What does that look like?
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously, we work with sponsors at all levels. So I've talked a little bit about our best friends at Northwest Natural who've been long-term partners and helped found the event. But we also come into a community and we partner with local businesses. So you can be a one-man shop. You can be a restaurant. We're certainly working with wineries here in Newberg to tell the wine country story. But we will showcase different samplings and offerings. We'll be putting flyers and promotions, ticket specials down in businesses in downtown Newberg or all throughout Yamhill County and McMinnville. So happy to support the community. We're working with the Downtown Association to be able to promote and offer, again, giveaways and fun special events where we can. So we hope to see people at the Wednesday market and such promoting the Street of Dreams. So more to come.
Yeah. And is it too late for businesses to reach out and partner?
Never too late. Never too late. We'll always find time for a partnership. So, certainly you can reach out to us and we would happily find a spot. We know that there's room for everybody and we want to make it feel like a community event and again, welcoming to all of our guests coming in.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I want to ask you personally, Rachel, you've been with the Home Builders Association for 9 years. What would you say your favorite part of doing this is?
Well, I think coming into each community and having lived in Portland for 25 years, but not being from here, I think it is really special to get the unique flavor of what each community brings and kind of understand the dynamic and sort of seeing it when it's on the cusp of change. Mm-hmm. That's part of what we look for, when we're finding our new spot is this is going to be a growth area or this is going to be a space people are going to want to build new construction in. So we get to kind of jump in and live there temporarily and get a sense of who are the people and what are they and what are they about. And then maybe we come back, maybe we don't, but that's always a little heartbreaking when we leave because we have lots of best friends and then we have to leave and go on to the next one, kind of like we're on tour, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. But certainly that, and then the heartstrings part with our foundation of what we get to do and see the lasting sort of work. So we get to be on the front end of something new, but then we also get to leave some lasting work. And I think that's really fulfilling when you work on something. It's never the same twice because it's never the same location. Yeah. So it is unique from an event production standpoint. It's a little challenging, but so we need the community to help us because it's never the same.
Yeah. Well, and you do quite a bit. I've seen some of the running around that you do, and you're a really instrumental part. And I'm sure you're very much appreciated in your
thank you. We have a big village that works behind me, next to me, right alongside making it happen. So pretty awesome team. So thank you.
So for anyone who's kind of on the fence, they're not sure if they want to go, they're not kind of, after listening to this, they're not quite sure what it's all about. What would you say to someone to encourage them to go?
I would say if you've ever been on the fence, this is definitely the year to come check it out. The views alone are spectacular. And most of us haven't had a lot of opportunity to tour a $3 million house with views like this. And I think this is the time to come do it. Certainly post-COVID, last year we were back and we had a great event, but it was really just coming out of COVID. So I feel like this is the summer that people are going to be excited to kind of get back to their tradition. Bring your friends, plan a day, plan a weekend, stay overnight. If you're local, definitely come up and be proud of what we're showcasing and the story we're telling for Newberg.
Yeah, and again, if you haven't heard of Street of Dreams, it's a pretty big deal that it's in Newberg. I mean, for it to have gone on for 75 years, right? And
40,
or what?
Almost 50, yeah. I mean, it feels like 70.
Yeah. For it to have gone on for the past 40 years is a pretty big deal for it to be here. So I encourage everyone to come support what the Street of Dreams is doing, and with our shelter here in town. I mean, that's a really significant thing that's going on. Well, thank you, Rachel, for your time. I guess first, is there anything else that you would want to say to someone before we close?
No, I just think thanks for the opportunity. And certainly if you haven't come and you're like, I'm not really that interested, just know that we also just encourage people to come for the entertainment of it. So come check it out, get a little bit of inspiration. It might be a piece of tile. It might be something about energy efficiency in a heating system that you didn't understand, or a great fireplace you didn't know about. We just want to tell the story of all the little things as much as the big story. So just come out and have a good weekend event and consider it entertainment.
And where can people find out more information?
So on our website, we will have everything about ticketing, hours, shuttling information, parking, and it's streetofdreamspdx.com.
And I'll have that in the show notes, so you can check that out there. And thank you, Rachel, for your time today. I'm excited. It's always fun to see the different Street of Dreams projects, but I'm super excited that it's here in our own community. And I hopefully will see you at the Realtor Day, because that's the one I'll be going to.
That's right. I look forward to that. We will. Thank you so much for having us.
I hope you enjoyed today's episode and learned something new about Street of Dreams. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm really excited that this amazing project is coming to Newberg, and it's definitely something you won't want to miss. So make sure you go online and grab your tickets on the Street of Dreams website, which I've got in the description. And if you enjoyed this episode, please consider leaving a 5-star rating. And also make sure you subscribe to make sure you don't miss episodes when they come out. Well, thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you in the next episode, and maybe I'll see you at the Street of Dreams.